There's a general election happening in the UK and it is a big deal. So we are going to tell you everything you need to know about it in just 5 minutes. Let's go. A general election is a chance for people to choose a member of parliament to represent their area or constituency. Most candidates represent a political party. If a candidate wins in a constituency, it means they've won a seat in the House of Commons, and this is a seat for their party too. There are 650 of these seats up for grabs. To win a constituency, a candidate simply has to get more votes than the others running against them.
To be duly elected.
It's a system we call first past the post. Then, the party that wins the most seats in the House of Commons wins the election and can form the next government to lead the UK for the next 5 years. And the leader of the winning party becomes Prime Minister.
A new dawn has broken.
So you're not voting directly for who you want in the top job, you're voting for your local MP. But these local results taken together decide who becomes the UK's Prime Minister.
The 2024 election is a bit different because the boundaries for so many of the constituencies have changed. That means that you might be in a different constituency to the one that you were in last time. To vote, you need to be registered, and you can do that by post or online. To vote, you have 3 options. You can do it in person at a polling station between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. on the 4th of July. If you're away or just don't fancy doing it in person, you can vote by post. You can also vote by proxy, which means someone else votes on your behalf, but you have to meet certain criteria to do this.
To vote in person, you only need to go to the polling station that's listed on your poll card. You don't need this poll card to vote, but you will need ID. Now, there are 22 types of voter ID that will be accepted, and if you don't have any of these, well, you can apply for a voter authority certificate. When you get there, you'll need to give your name and address to staff. They'll give you a ballot paper with all the list of candidates, and you simply select the one you want to be your MP. You fold that up, put it into the ballot box, and you need to be in the polling station or queuing by 10 p.m. to vote. When the poll stations close, no more votes can be counted, and that's when an exit poll happens.
It's 10 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock. It looks like this.
And this is something political correspondents get very excited about because it gives you an indication of the final result. Now, these are based on exit poll surveys taken outside poll stations, and while they're not 100% accurate, they're a pretty good indication of what might happen in the morning. Meanwhile, ballot boxes in the UK are brought to count centres where they'll be counted throughout the night. Constituency results come at different times and the final result is expected late in the morning.
If the current government keeps their majority, it continues in office and it's business as usual. But if a different party has won, then the Prime Minister will resign. Before they go, they'll usually make a speech and take photos at Downing Street.
Thank you and goodbye.
Before driving to see the monarch. Now, the leader of the winning party goes to see the monarch too, who will invite them to form a new government. Now, they generally give their own speech.
Her Majesty the Queen has asked me to form a new government.
Before entering into the famous black door to applause from staff. It's not always that simple though. Sometimes we're left with what's called a hung parliament. This is when no party manages to win a majority, and so it's left to them to try and form a coalition big enough to rule.
I'm afraid I did once.
Or the current government or another party may try to make things work without a majority.
As a result of this election, there was no party that had a majority in this House. Only... Yes?
So, what are some of the key issues that this election's going to be fought over? The economy is number one. Many people are struggling with the cost of living crisis, rising food prices, energy bills, the cost of renting and housing. Lots of people will want to know how each party plans to deal with these issues. In healthcare, long waiting lists will be an important talking point too, as well as dentistry and social care, where leaders have warned that rising demand and staffing issues are bringing the system to its knees. Immigration policies will also feature heavily, especially how to deal with small boat crossings in the English Channel. And that's not all. Government-funded childcare, the environment, and how to deal with pressures on the criminal justice system, such as overcrowding in prisons and knife crime, are also dividing lines between the parties. Done. How did we do?